Buongiorno. Buongiorno. Benvenuti nella nostra cucina. Today we're making tortellini in broth, which is a traditional dish in Italy around the holidays, Catholic holidays, and is still a tradition around here. It's Dean's favorite food, so we're making it for the highest of all holidays, which is
my birthday.
Your birthday. All right, so we're gonna start with some dough. We're gonna make some dough, and we're gonna use our trusty mixer here. Yeah.
Whatever it's called.
And we're gonna start with 3 cups of flour. Do you want to do that?
Sure. Do I just put it right in?
Put it right in there.
Okay.
You just, it's already measured for you. You just throw the whole thing in there.
Don't spill it. One thing you need to remember. Never spill anything. Unless you absolutely have to.
And now we're going to put in 4 farm fresh eggs. You want to crack them?
Mm-hmm.
This will be for our shells.
Okay. Fresh from our chickens.
Yep.
Where's that one for later?
That's for later. That's for the meat.
Okay. I have no idea.
As little shell as possible. All right, you can throw those in there. Good. We'll put in some olive oil, teaspoon or more. That's more. And we will just mix it up. My grandmother would have said maybe a shell or a half shell of water sometimes. We'll just use this cute little tiny jar. I think it's better to have a wetter dough than drier because it's so easy to dry it out. You could just leave it on the counter to dry out. It's really hard to add
more water once it's all
moisture, yeah. So it's gonna look like sand, right, or gravel.
Whatever you want to call it.
But if it comes together,
what's it?
if it comes together, you're good.
It's a little like kinetic sand.
Yeah. All right. So.
Where if you give it pressure, it stays together until you like rip it apart or anything.
Say just a tiny bit more water. To be safe. Learn this the hard way. Alright, now we're going to clear off some space on our cutting board. We're just going to dump it out. Now is when we get to play. You ready? You like that kinetic sand?
Yeah.
Are you playing with kinetic sand? Alright, so we're going to just grab it like that and bring it together.
Okay.
Pause the video and come back when we've got a good dough. So now we've got our dough in a ball and we're going to put it in a plastic bag and we're going to put that in the fridge, and every once in a while we'll knead it some more.
Yeah.
2 or 3 times until
it's
ready.
Until it's a well dough. A good dough. Better dough than that dough.
Alright, now we're going to make our meat filling. Okay, so we're going to take some pork. It can be any kind of pork, doesn't really matter. This is some we had from the local farm that I just cooked yesterday with some salt and pepper. But a lot of times if you have leftover from a pork roast or whatever, you could use that. And throw that in the Cuisinart. At this point we would use some mortadella, but we've been trying to avoid the grocery store as much as possible, so we're just gonna make it without mortadella. It's fine. It's like bologna, Italian bologna. Okay, maybe a little extra cheese. We're gonna pour a healthy dose of Parmesan cheese. You could use Romano or a mix. We're gonna put in a good pinch of salt. You wanna do some pepper?
Sure.
We'll put an egg in there.
Looks like just a lump of dirt.
And you love it.
Yes. That good?
Sure. We're gonna taste it later, so you can always add more, but you can't add less, can you? All right, and we're gonna add some nutmeg. Do you want to? There's a little trick to keep your nutmeg from going everywhere. If you have your little fine grater, your piece of wax paper here, you don't have to worry about getting it right in the mixer. I'm a little heavy on the nutmeg myself. Especially since we don't have the mortadella, we need a little something extra. All right, and then that's nice and neat.
I've never actually seen the center of nutmeg.
Yes, whole nutmeg smells so much better. Doesn't that smell good? Smell like tortellini kind of?
A little.
Pork, no mortadella this time. Cheese, egg. We're ready to mix. Grind away. And I did this. I cooked the pork yesterday, so it's nice and cold today, which will help. You want to mix it up?
Sure. Which one? This
Oh.
one.
All right, we fried some up, and now we're gonna try it. See if we like the seasoning. Good?
Not bad.
What?
I don't like it.
That's it, cameraman. Welcome back. It's been 2 days since we made the dough and the meat. The first evening we were too lazy, and the next day, yesterday, was too nice. We were out all day doing yard work. So here we are back, and our dough, which I kneaded a few times, has turned a bit brown because it's getting old, but that's okay. As you'll see, it is going to come out nicely just the same. So I'm going to cut out a bit, put the rest back in here to keep it damp, and we are going to roll it through this pasta roller. And I'll just get it started with a rolling pin. And it looks a little funny, but that's gonna be okay. This is not the way my parents would have done it, or still do it, or my grandmother would have done it. It's my own new method. Ready?
Yep.
Here we go. So I'm actually gonna roll it out once first. Come on, muscles, let's go.
But I don't have it.
Keep going. Working with children is a joy. And then we're gonna fold it in thirds, even if it comes out weirdly rabbit-eared. Flatten it out a bit.
Put some little feetsies.
That's why it didn't matter what it looked like before, because we're gonna do this a couple times. This is sort of kneading it again in a way. And then that browned exterior, we get all remixed into the dough.
Make sure not to pull off the handle.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right, so we folded it over 2 or 3 times. Come on. Now we're gonna send it through twice. Just go on each number. Tug slightly as you go. And send it through the opposite way the second time. You can get a motor for the roller, but they're noisy and they don't give you the opportunity to get in a fight with your children. My grandmother and my parents would roll it out in thin strips. I'm going to roll it in a thick strip and then cut it down after, which I think is quicker.
Was that twice?
No. I think so.
I wouldn't have if there was one more. Anyway.
And the last one. If the dough gets too long, you can always cut it down and do it in 2 pieces.
This one got long.
Yeah.
Well, we're almost done with it, so it doesn't really matter.
You cut that in half. Next time straight. Now we're going to cut these in thirds down the long way. A little wider. Yeah. Aim for my knife. And now we're going to cut them into squares. Cut them into squares, don't worry about that. Now we have our stuffing from yesterday, and we're going to start putting that on the little squares that Dean is cutting. Just a pea-sized bit. Do you want to show how to fold one?
Sure.
Zoom in on, Dean's going to show you how to fold one. Zoom in on his hands. Fold it into a triangle. Press the edges.
This one has a little,
Too much,
too
that's all right.
much meat. And then you can do it either like this side, or like on the other side. And then
Yeah.
you put one of your fingers in and then press these two together. Like this. Can we put one on this one?
No. After we're done with these, we're going to let them dry. Maybe put a fan on to help them dry faster. Once they're dry, we'll put them in baggies and freeze them.
Well, they are loose.
When we're ready to cook them, we'll just drop them into boiling chicken broth. And as soon as they start floating, they're ready to eat. Thanks for joining us.